Yes, hello tradies. Welcome back to the Air Raid Siren. We are brought to you by the Melbourne Racing Club. Hearts will race this Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival October 11 to October 18. Can't wait for the carnival. Can't wait for Mitch's Air Raid as well. Feels like he's maybe coming off a long run.
The best part of footy season being over for me is the NFL season. I can really invest some time into that and become an NFL nerd. Watched a bit of Sunday Night Football today. And it got me thinking about the X-ray machines they've got on the sidelines at every NFL venue.
Yep.
I wonder how long they've had them for. Is it a recent thing? It's at least the 90s, potentially even the 80s in my research today. They've had X-ray machines at every NFL venue.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 20 years. I didn't realise it went back even further than that.
And we played an AFL grand final on the weekend where a player broke their arm in front of 100,000 people, 6 million watching on TV, and there's no X-ray machine in 2025.
I think Eddie Maguire was talking about this when the Petrarca stuff happened last year, but that might not even be X-ray. That might be MRI.
That's a CT as well.
CT. So, yeah, so you're talking
they're
about
different. Now, apologies to our listeners from the medical fraternity. I'm not fully across. There's MRIs, there's CTs, and there's the basic X-ray.
Eddie's point was in the US they can afford it because the clubs pay for them. Yeah. Whereas here it's like, is the AFL going to pay for a machine for every single?
Now, an X-ray machine can be six figures.
Okay.
So
I'd have no idea.
It's not cheap, but there's a lot more games played at the MCG and Marvel than other venues in the country.
The G should have one.
For grand final day.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Now, Jeremy Cameron playing at that game with a broken arm. The game was dead with 10 minutes left. I don't know why he didn't come off earlier as well. He kept playing.
Yeah, it was interesting.
The other thing, Geelong, and we're getting back to more pure footy now, Geelong wasted 18 minutes of that third quarter with indecision around Jeremy Cameron. Now, the Cats have unashamedly skewed and biased towards their best players. If that was one of the bottom 5 players on the ground, they would have been subbed there and then, I have no doubt. The Cats, and Chris Scott always says this, we back in our star players and we expect more from our star players than our role players, which is completely fine. But it took me back to last year's prelim with Max Holmes when he was working on his hamstring. They wasted too long that night before injecting the sub. Now, the Brisbane were well and truly on their way. Cameron wasn't having a major influence on the game, and they probably thought that Cameron could turn the game late because he's a match winner. He's proven it before. But I just wonder whether, instead of wasting that 18 minutes, if they had a fresh Jack Martin on the ground, could that have just made it a 1 or 2% change?
Yep.
And why there was a player with a broken arm running around for the last quarter of an AFL grand final?
Yep. Very good point. And a very good point on the machines. I'd love to ask Andrew Dillon, have they looked at it?
Yeah. Because we talk about independent doctors, but the actual machinery.
Yeah, can we just have a simple machine, an X-ray?
Yeah.
Can we see a fracture in Jeremy Cameron's arm?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be either in too much pain or we've got to jab this part, get him off, or keep him on. I'm sure the docs would love it. The club doctors would love any more utensils which make those decisions easier.
But in terms of an MRI to find out if they've done a calf, those machines, I believe, are a bit more exy.
I think that's harder.
Yeah.
Yep. Because to see if Christian Petrarca had actually hurt his spleen, that's very different to saying if he's got 2 broken ribs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to your point, they couldn't even work that out last year.
And we spoke about it in the main show, but I spoke to Andrew Mackey on Sunday.
Yep.
And and this is fair. The Cats have been questioned as to why they left a guy with a broken arm, in the conversation around Petrarca. They're two different things. Petrarca had the potential for internal injuries. Yeah. A broken arm, the long-term ramifications aren't there with a broken arm.
No. It's not life-threatening.
No. I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I think there could have been some more resources around that decision that in future we'll see.
Yep. I just wanted to talk about Snoop Dogg on the weekend, and I know that I've been very strong, and I know that at times I've had a bit of fun with the whole nighttime grand final stuff. But I just wanted to say, I think if you look at the last few years of who the AFL has been able to get to perform at the grand final, it is nothing short of extraordinary. Like the talent that they have been able to attract with a limited budget, it's not like...
The AFL have got to you, have they?
I'm really offended by that. After everything I've been through this week with the AFL, the last thing I want to do is to give them...
Well, the floor is yours.
No. I'm not going down that route. I just think with the arms race that has happened across the world with governments paying and tourism bodies paying bands and artists millions of dollars to come and play in different cities.
Well, the WA government paid for
Coldplay.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
To be able to get people like Robbie Williams, Katy Perry, The Killers, and then Snoop Dogg, who was a controversial choice, to be able to rock the MCG at a stadium where the acoustics don't necessarily lend themselves to those artists. I just think that they've done unbelievably well.
Yep. He's got aura. It had aura on the weekend.
Yeah.
There wasn't a spare seat in the house when he performed.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was unbelievable. I thought he was much better than I thought he would be. And just on that, like whether the AFL knew this or they just got lucky, the week leading up and the fact that everyone was talking about him, and I know there was a lookalike rolling around, like pretending to be him, which kind of just added to the story. But like, you know, him playing the gig at the ESPY and then him playing at Miss Collins and, you know, like the interviews that he did, like the interview with Richo on 7 was amazing. The interview with Cal Toomey on AFL.com was amazing. Like,
should he have taken questions from the media pack? Because others,
probably
performers in the past have.
Yeah, I would have liked it if he did, but I'm splitting hairs here. I just think I had so many conversations with people who weren't necessarily big footy fans. Like my sister, for instance, couldn't care about footy at all. But
she's a big Carlton fan, though.
Well, yeah.
Maybe not after the Great Northern last year.
Okay, there's no need to bring up old wounds. But like even she was pumped about Snoop. Like all these, I just think the AFL, whether they got lucky or they knew that this would happen, they really struck gold with Snoop Dogg. So I hope two things. One, the AFL continues to hunt the best artists. And two, I hope that other artists around the world see what people like Snoop and what people like Robbie Williams and Katy Perry have been able to do, and then continue to want to play at the grand final, because it is a stadium and a day unlike very few around the world.
Grand final, walking to the MCG brings me so much joy.
Same. It's the best day of the year. Actually, like getting on the train, everyone wanting to talk about the game, the build-up. It's awesome. When we play it at a proper time, it'll be even better.
What do you think of Bad Bunny, who's performing at the NFL Super Bowl?
Is he Portuguese? Where's he from?
I don't actually know that.
Where's Bad Bunny from, Link?
English is not his first language.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. I got the port right.
And the NFL have been big on trying to expand into South America.
Yes. Well, it's smart business, is it not? I mean, the NFL know how to make a dollar.
Yeah.
And they know how to create eyeballs.
Who's your hit list for next year's grand final?
Oh, that's hard.
Because Teddy Swims is performing at the NRL this year.
Yeah.
But if he walked in here, I wouldn't know him.
Yep, big deal. So the guy that...
And I think even though Teddy Swims' music is, from what I'm led to, I'm not a massive music person, if you probably come to...
I'm shocked to hear that.
I think the performers on these days need to have appeal for the everyday person on the street.
So I'll leave you with this. You asked me, like, who should they go after? Now, I don't think this guy will ever do it. Not because I know him, just because I just gut feel he's got enough money. But the person that they should try to get, who arguably has one of the most well-known / sold songs of all time, if he was playing this song at halftime as the sun was going on down at the MCG, it might be one of the greatest moments the country has ever seen, and that would be Eminem. If he was doing Lose Yourself at halftime, can you imagine, with like everyone with their torches out, all the lights off, the MCG lit up in all its glory, and one guy in the middle rapping Lose Yourself? I think that place might melt down. If he went down and performed it in Tassie, the roof might actually go off.
Is it going to be a roof?
Apparently.
What about Bruce Springsteen?
Okay, Caro. Let's get AC/DC back. Why don't we reinvent the Beatles while we're here? No, someone in this century would be good. I was actually listening to Bruce Springsteen on the way here.
Oh, there you go.
Born in the USA. We digress.
Maybe Mason Cox,
No,
with the
no.
Norm Smith, and Bruce Springsteen could sing Born.
Why are you so anti-Mason? Why are you turning into everyone else in the street?
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. It's unfair. Thanks for another episode brought to you by the Melbourne Racing Club and the Caulfield Cup Carnival. It starts October 11. It goes to October 18. We'll be back next week.